and welcome to Concepts. Fun fact, because of this application, I bought myself my first iPad. It's actually really that good. So in this video, I will give you an introduction into how Concepts works, and then we will go into how to create nice drawings, quick sketches like this. Okay, so let's take a look at the interface. On the left side, you can see there is the toolbar or dial. We have precision, we have layers, we have export and import. Up here, the dial or cog, that is where we have preferences we can set up. Down here, we have some tools and or options. In upper left corner, you see concept lectures untitled 19. That's where you have projects and then documents. And to the left of concepts, there is an icon, looks like the Windows icon for images, or actually drawings, rectangles. Tap on it. And then basically now we are in the project overview. You see I have one project, concepts lectures with a finger. If I swipe left, I go to shaper. One more, I'm in test. And you see the number actually changes from 1, 2, 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3, and sections. So let's actually create a new drawing. So click plus. Now we can create first a project. Let's say this project we call furniture design. And there we are. Good. And then we also already have here one drawing or one document. If I put my finger onto it and wait, then you see the pop-up menu comes up. And can give a drawing a name too. Cool. By pressing the plus icon, we create another drawing. And then actually the software, as you can see, automatically opens it. The main reason why I personally really prefer working with concepts is it is vector-based. That means it's kind of like Illustrator, and I can adjust everything later. I'm not stuck to it like in Photoshop, which in my opinion, since I see sketching as a tool to very quickly develop ideas, this is really what I want to work with. Beautiful renderings I do in a 3D program. So let's take a look at the navigation. 2 fingers, pinch to zoom out. 2 fingers and rotate. Very easy. 1 finger to select something. 2 fingers to move around. So you see the zoom, rotate, and pinch is basically 2 fingers. Upper right corner, you also see the readout for the rotation and the zoom factor. Okay. Since we talked about this area, let's click on the cog. Background, that is where you can specify, well, what type of paper would you like to draw on. We have a grid. We even now have 1 point, 2 point, 3 point perspective. We can specify the size of the artboard in inches or yards or whatever you would like to use. And then we have a drawing scale. That's another really cool thing. We can actually set this up to, let's say, inches and feet. And now I would like my drawing to be 1 to 12. So 1 inch on my drawing equals 2 feet. 1 foot. So 12 inches. And when we also go to edit grid, you see now here there's a point. Each point is now 1 foot, so 12 inches. We can slide this. Or with a finger, I put it onto the number and wait and say maybe 1. Then every line is now 1 inch. Okay. I will go back here to 12, so the grid is a little bit bigger. Okay, let's go back. And that pretty much is everything we can really set up here. There's stuff for the stylus and gestures. You can read through it if you want to. Okay, tapping somewhere outside. No, another interface element to adjust. I prefer actually the linear tool icon. To do this with a finger, you put it onto and then wait. Or maybe I do it with the left hand. Wait, no. There. So I pressed it onto the tool and waited, and then you see then this icon pops down. Okay, now I can move this around, put this into a corner, and I like it there. So I have a nice long line, and then I have the individual tools and tool features. Layers, for example, I would like to be on the right side. Import and export, I don't really use that often, so you go down to there. Very good. So with my right hand, I can open the layers. And with my left hand, I can work on the precision and the tools. I have here precision. Turn the grid off, turn the grid on. Tap on it, then I go back to the grid feature. Snap. Now I can snap to various features. Active layers are only on the, I can only snap to something on the active layer. Snap while editing. Cool, no? Yeah, pretty awesome. Snap to grid, definitely. Measure, when I draw something, please read out the measurement. And I have here also a guide. So I can actually draw along a line or an ellipse. There. No, because I turned on the guide and I have a pen tool active. You see at the bottom it says rotate is off. If I tap it, now I can rotate this. And you see also how this snaps actually to individual grid points. So when I turn this off, then snapping, for example, doesn't work anymore. And then when I draw 2 fingers, I can scale 2 fingers. I can scale and rotate. These guide tools, very useful. So I can, for example, turn on grid, snap to grid, maybe turn this off, align the grid. You can see now how this snaps to horizontal and vertical, but it does not necessarily only snap to the grid. Cool. Okay. Turn on measurement. Draw a line. You see, wow, this line is now 7.5 feet long. Cool, no? Yeah. If I turn this off, turn this on, there you can see how, for example, how long is the guideline. So this is now a 3.8673 foot long line. Cool. I guess this is really a clear indicator of why I really prefer sketching with application. I can actually work in dimensions. My sketches will be proportionally correct. Few more things. Let's turn all this stuff off. Very good. Let's go to the layer. I have pencil, marker, pen, and here it says sorting automatic. Turn this to manual. So what this means is every time when I make a layer and I select the layer, I'm drawing in that layer. And here, this I would like to delete. So I tap it, click the trash, trash, new, trash. Cool, make new. So now I have 2 layers. When I double tap, you see I'm in focus, then basically everything else will be hidden or less visible. And based on what layer I'm on, now I can sketch on. Tap one more, go to here and say lines. Okay. Go to here, double tap, or there. And we call this marker. Give these layers logical names. Cool. Okay. So how do we do the tools? So we have pen tool, our pencil tool, pen tool, more tool, marker tool. What's this? This is the fill tool. Then we have an eraser, and we can actually each of these slots customize. So when I tap this one, this is now my pen tool. Very nice. And you see when I draw and I rotate it, it changes it. Beautiful. With this feature or icon, I can change the size. Pretty awesome. 2 fingers, by the way, is undo. 3 fingers is redo. Then this adjusts the transparency. This is really killer. This actually adjusts the smoothness. No, sorry, transparency. And this here, that changes the smoothness. Okay, smoothness, what does this mean? Here, let's check, set this to this. And now I draw something. When you press harder, you see it also gets more strength. Then let's set this to 50%. You see already, it's much softer. And when we set this to 100%, it is a line. So I, for example, don't necessarily use the ruler if I don't have to. I simply set this to 100% and then it's just straight lines. By the way, so let's go to the select tool. So like in Illustrator, I can select now an element. I can use a lasso, the item picker. I can ignore or include locked elements. I can ignore everything on other layers or use everything on a layer. I only want to work on this layer. Item picker. So when I click and go over something, you will see then it finds the element. With the lasso, I can draw a selection of objects. Cool. Okay, now here, zip, you all should be this, and then transparency. Look how I'm adjusting everything. And here's now the killer feature. I'm straightening all the curves. Flop. The lines are already lines, so they can't be softened, but the curves I can straighten. Pretty nice, no? Yeah, I think so too. Let's draw a selection over all this. Then this gives this dial. We can flip, we can lock, we can group. Actually, this is group. We can lock, we can make a copy, we can duplicate, and we can delete. Select this, move this down. Now rotate, stretch, scale. What does this mean? I can now move it. I cannot rotate it. I can rotate it. I can stretch it. And what's the difference to scale? You see with scale, the brush size or the stroke thickness will scale. So stretch is just changing the shape, and scale is changing the shape, including scaling the tool. Colors, we can also click on this color wheel and then pick a color. Very easy. No? Then let's say here I would like this to be a pen. This thickness, 100%, not as sharp. And no, I would like to have here maybe a soft pencil. You see when I double tap it, I can then add a soft pencil. Maybe make this really fine. Maybe nice and straight. And you see now I have 2 different tools. That's how easy this is. Here's the marker. You can make this watercolor. Oh, this watercolor I would like to be markered. Okay, so let's select this. And then go to here and let's say here, you be airbrush. Obviously, give this a color. There, now it's airbrush. Actually, no, let's make this line work. Nah, let's go back to watercolor. So you see, even the tool can be updated afterwards, which makes it super, yeah, interactive. You are not stuck. This is really what I like so much about it. Here, this, I will give this a permanent color. So I cannot have anything selected, and now I can give this a color. There we are. Very good. So how do we use the layers a lot? So here's a little tip. I'm just simply selecting all this and deleting it. Then I will go to here, double tap. This should now be our marker. Very nice. Here's my marker. Pretty cool. There. And now I would like to draw a nice box around it. There's my pen tool. Now I go to a different layer and draw my box around it. The box is too thin. Okay, we know. I can select only everything on this layer. Check out this way. You see it did not select the marker because it's on a different layer. And let's adjust the thickness there. Okay, yeah, that pretty much sums everything up, how we can navigate the space, measurements, grid, layers. Layers we can actually, by the way, click and drag. And so resort them. The eye obviously makes them invisible, visible, logical stuff. What else do we have? We can delete, lock also a layer. Can change the transparency. Yeah, very good. So the only thing is now based on the layers. Since we do a manual sorting, you want to be careful that when you do line work for an outline, we put this onto an outline layer. If we put things like with marker down, we put this onto a marker layer. Okay, that's it.